Happy New Year, you grass-eating animals. We are almost at 5,000, thank you, and enjoy the new video. I'm on a 30 hours call shift trying get half an hour of sleep while waiting for the third admission tonight. Just go for it. Take a picture without the horse filter so we can see what you actually look like. Did you know she played Paul in the Wonder Years? Loved your work in Ratatouille. Where is your Red Ryder BB gun? You look like you ask the teacher for extra homework just so that the class will give you attention by yelling at you. They look like someone combined a background nerd from The Simpsons with a forest creature from a Disney movie and called it a person. Your face looks like one of those fake glasses and nose masks. Sorry, your transition from horse to not horse didn't work out. It was impossible for her to post this without the self-important title. All those hours and no extra money for orthodontic. I know not all heroes wear capes, but if you see one, grab it and cover that horse more of yours. Look people, Op is clearly a patient in a psych ward and he really wants some attention. You look like the dumb resident who posts on social media instead of sleeping when you can and complains about the 80-hour work week. Guess the patients are running the hospital now. Guess your job does not have a dental plan. Just recovered from a terrible case of COVID-19. Hoping r/roastin can make me feel a little better. You spelled herpes wrong. If this man was a Greek hero, he would be known as Herpes. If he's German, his name is probably Adolf Herpler. If he was in SpongeBob SquarePants, he'd work at the Krusty Krab. If he was a movie-related protagonist vehicle, he would be Herp the Lover Bug. He would be a cop to catch the criminal perpetrator. If he were a horse race, he'd be the Kentucky Herp. If he were a movie, the Big Herp. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth, or is that where you got it? Even though you recovered, wearing a face mask will definitely serve you well. That open sore on your face really distracts from that Picasso nose you got there. I bet your family all sighed in unison and said damn, he recovered. Honestly, I'm worried about the COVID and hope it's okay after it recovered from its terrible case of you. Philadelphia Part 2. Everybody is talking about your herpes, but I'm sitting here trying to work out the physics of how your tiny neck is supporting your head. Hot sauce is your arch enemy. Or a nice hearty lemon. Can deadlift more than you, roast me you weaklings. Big passion for deadlifting and cycling to ensure my body is always at peak performance. Most of my confidence comes from my handlebar mustache. Definitely stronger than you, roast me you weaklings. So you're good at bending over repeatedly while arching his back and getting folded like a movie theater chair. You look like a homeless person who got a makeover from a frat guy. Just watching you deadlift that eyelid is making me tired. Boy looks like the turtle from Over the Hedge. I bet you can't deadlift the weight of your parents' disappointment. Look like a dehydrated Snoop Dogg. Droop Dog. Yeah, well I can walk through TSA checkpoints faster than you. You look more like the janitor at a powerlifting gym. Yeah, but that's because moving fridges is your job. Must come in handy with the bodies of anybody who's unfortunate enough to respond to your dating profile. Maybe you can deadlift more than us, but honestly, we all know where that finger's been. Sherlock Holmes back at it again. To keep everyone updated, I'm quitting my job on New Year's Eve. I'm moving to another state. With a high disregard of self-preservation, I work an 8-hour job with bad wage in hopes that I can make it to the next month. I know Spanish, English, and Japanese so I can enjoy anime and international memes. Love the 40s attire and music, but can vibe to anything I simp a girl that won't love me back. I use TikTok and Twitter and sometimes I pretend to be a streamer. Yeah. Say, Holmes, what kind of school are you not allowed within 100 yards of? Elementary, my dear Watson. You're moving from the state of denial to the state of misery. If your eyes were any further apart, you would have gills. Looks like his eyes already moved states away from each other. There's no shame in being a 25-year-old virgin, but there is shame in dressing like one. The dude starts his investigation by sniffing out the bike seats at the local high school. The coolest dude at the D&D game. He talked to a girl once. It was awesome. I can practically hear "Good evening, my lady. I'm looking for a submissive Japanese wife who cuts my sandwiches like mommy does used to." Inspector Budget. Inspector Budget. You look like a Dorito chip in a suit. How do you quit New Year's Eve? I wanted to say I'm quitting in New Year's Eve, but I'm dumb. I mean, we all gathered the dumb part on account of this ridiculous outfit you're wearing. It didn't need to be said. 2021 was the best year of my life. 8 months sober. Lost 70 pounds. Give me a reason to drink again. Been sober for 8 months after drinking hard for 8 years. This year I've become a gender fluid communist who's gotten really into D&D, running, and rope play. Recently diagnosed as bipolar, but I also adopted a frog named Mr. Mayor, so it balances out. Rude of you to get sober when you're the reason your parents drink. You look like one of those guys who gets drunk and argues with people about how good Charlotte is a real punk band. Blue hair and yellow teeth is no way to go through life, son, Mr. Mayor. With all that money saved on alcohol, you can now afford a dentist, barber, and trainer. Do better. You may be sober, but you will definitely be the cause of other people's drinking problem. I think I've seen that same shade of blue on a sandwich that my friend left in her locker over the holidays. You may look like a unicorn, but you've never given anyone the horn, and never will. Sympathy sex is the peak for you. Damn, Ninja let himself go. Macupe wearing artist, makes a lot of art, and just got a commission. Show me your fangs, and bring me down to earth. That's a lot of words just to say barista. Which motel bought your art? Gotta give your mom something nice to look at while she's at work. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Oh hi Mark. Try that style in which you merge with the background and disappear. This comment is way better and more original than anything Maximum Headroom here has ever produced. Everything in this picture says I come from family money, but neither of my parents ever looked me in the eye, and the general public is going to have to pay for that. If you were any good as an artist you wouldn't need a gimmick. Commission, impossible. Next up on Where Are They Now? It's a real shame what happened to your partner, Pizza the Hut. You look like John Travolta and Ozzy Osbourne had a kid, and he turned out to be exactly like you would have expected him to, except he is afraid of bats and having a personality. You have twisted and dehumanized yourself in your futile struggle for relevance. You've deleted your true self and went full commedia dell'arte, becoming a stock character that no one would want to embrace. Your artwork is as shallow as your personality. The amount of times Op is responding just shows it's not that big of a commission. Before I grew up and realized I needed to work for a living, I never had time to seek attention online whilst on commission. 35/F driver totaled my car. Lost my job. Grades took a dip. Debt is piling in. Why not make tomorrow even harder to come? I was hit by an inattentive driver totaling my car. Lost my job. Looking at double shoulder surgery. And to make matters even shinier, I'm stuck cycling between manic and depressive episodes in quick successions. Some days tomorrow gets harder and harder to reach. Today is one of those days. Say what you will, it's still probably nicer than what my consciousness is screaming at me. 35. Grades took a dip. Are you in grade 26? On the plus side, you look like a young cross-dressing Nathan Lane. So you got that going for you. You've totaled your life as well. Could you explain how the patriarchy did all this to you too? I think an Ecto 2 would make everything all better. Sorry that most of the damage from the crash was to your face. But hey, here's hoping you have a great New Year's. You can build a house on that face with that much foundation. You look like you bring political pamphlets to dinner parties. At least you're not getting pregnant or catcalled anytime soon. When you see this face you know you're about to hear a lot about male privilege. You didn't need to tell us your gender. All you had to say was I totaled my car and we'd know. 21/F deployed and bored. I've heard all the big forehead jokes in the book, so give me something new. I guess the Army's $700 billion budget doesn't allow for conditioner. Split ends. Split ends never change. Oh, I'm sure her end is getting split multiple times a day. Deployed is a fun way to say that no one, not even your country, wanted you here for the holidays. If you ever find yourself in a pinch, keep in mind you could always dig a trench with that chin of yours. All your parents wanted for Christmas was a folded up American flag. Military dudes say that their standards in women drop after deployment. Things are looking up for you. One look at you, and it's no wonder they're all coming back with PTSD. We didn't ask, please don't tell. Don't let them convince you getting passed around counts as heroic or serving your country.